You know, I'm kind of sad Halloween's over. But now that it's over, discount sweets. Yes. I'm gonna get stuff at. Hey guys. Sup? How you doing? Good, I hope. But with all this weather, yet again my life has gone a bit haywire. With my new job and everything, and most recently dealing with the fact that I'm no longer single. Yeah, I know. I'm having a hard time believing it myself. She must be blind. But yeah, I'm in a relationship now, so you know. Whoop whoop. She's probably gonna watch this and judge me so hard, but you know, we haven't been together long, but I thought it would be something to make a video about. Not me bragging, that's not the kind of person I am. I just thought it'd be interesting because this is the first relationship I've been in since coming out. And obviously it is a big new thing. And I thought that I would take you along and tell you guys how I'm dealing with things as they happen. As being a trans person in a relationship. Quick disclaimer, I am not a relationship expert at all. My last few relationships were horrendous. Probably because I wasn't out, but that's besides the point. Do not take my words 100%. This is me telling you what I have learnt just recently from a relatively new relationship, so don't see this as the gospel, so to speak. Right, to begin with, when you meet someone, it can be a little interesting because it depends on whether you're out or not. For me, and I'm sure a lot of you out there, meeting someone for the first time that you might potentially date, you're going to be in stealth, and that's something that can be uncomfortable because to begin with, she and I were just friends and I tried to be in stealth with her because that was how I was going to be trying the rest of my life. But I ended up having her find out by accident when I added her on Facebook and she saw all my trans stuff, which wasn't the best. But it meant that she was able to find out before I started dating her, which I think is good because for me I was kind of nervous about telling her. I can tell you now, coming out prior to dating someone is pretty good. It's a pretty good idea. For me, it definitely made me more comfortable as a person because I felt like I couldn't go on a date with someone and not tell them that I'm trans. I know that sounds bad, it's because some people don't do that, but for me personally, I felt like she had deserved to know considering there was a possibility we were going to be together. However, if you aren't sure, I would say that coming out to someone you might be potentially dating is probably going to go around the same lines as if you're around a friend or a family member, and that's to like bring the subject up around them, see how they handle it. I was lucky enough to have a mutual friend who I talked to about me because they knew I was trans and they said, yeah, just chill with it, da da da. So I was able to, when she found out, I was able to talk with her in confidence. I was a little annoyed that she'd found out not directly through me, but I wasn't scared because I'd found out prior that she was going to be okay with it. So that took a lot of issues out of the way. Also, another tip, I would say if you're not one of those people that's out like 100%, I would take some time to get to know that person before coming out, because I know a lot of people aren't that judgmental, but sometimes if you tell someone that, sometimes as a whole the trans community can be very intriguing and they can often focus on the fact that you're trans rather than you as a person. I feel like getting to know you without knowing you're trans may help them figure something out. I mean, obviously they've got to be accepting to be with you, but it may make things a little bit easier because that way they've gotten to know your personality and not just the trans label as some people might think of. Another thing I feel that is important to stress, especially I've learnt through my relationship, is to talk about with them whether you're in stealth or whether you're 100% okay with being out. the reason for this is because even if that person has dated someone trans before, let's be real here, no trans person is alike. Within the spectrum of just trans men in particular, there are some guys who are probably quite happy for their gender identity to be shared. Others might not. Others may be okay with it maybe being shared with family members but not with friends. Others may say maybe just the one best friend and that's it. Some may say no, you can't tell anyone. And I feel like you need to make that clear at the beginning and say to them, look, I am okay with you saying it to this person, or maybe I'm okay with these people knowing only if I tell them. I feel that that's important because I wasn't able to get to her in time and she did tell one of her friends. Luckily it's a friend she trusts and it's a friend that I've met and, you know, I trust her as well, but at the time it was a bit of an issue for me because I don't like the idea of having my identity shared without my knowledge. You know, if she'd said, oh, my friend might want to know, is it okay? Maybe. So yeah, communication is 100% key. Another big thing I specifically learned was to sit them down and tell them the sort of do's and don'ts regarding your identity. My partner specifically, I don't believe she's ever met a trans guy before, and she certainly hasn't dated one prior to me, so obviously there's going to be a lot of questions, so I feel like you need to sit that person down and kind of go through the dating trans guys for dummies or something. That sounds silly, but you know what I mean, like telling them, you know, regarding birth names, body parts, all of that, telling them what you're comfortable discussing with them prior to them trying to bring it up, i.e. maybe them pestering you to wonder what your birth name is and having you get upset with them, because let's be real, let's be real, they're probably not doing it in a bad way, they're probably just doing it because they want to get to know you better, and that is how they think they can get to know you better. But definitely do sit them down, do kind of think, right, I'm happy with you talking about this and this, but if you start talking about this, I'm not going to answer any questions about this. It's done. That way you're going to avoid any sort of arguments or issues that might pop up purely because they're curious, but because their curiosity ends up hurting you and therefore hurting the relationship. I feel like what also you should do is maybe include them in what the sort of ideas you have for your transition. Obviously this is sometimes, some people it can be private and they won't share it, but if that person is going to be part of your life, you need to talk with them and say, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, because especially if that person is going to get more intimate with you and is going to be in a long-term relationship with you, it is important for them to know what possibly could be happening and maybe give them resources on maybe, i.e. the effects of hormones on the body, or looking into methods for surgeries and stuff like that, so that they can understand it, so when it does happen and if they're still with you when it happens, then going to be more accepting and they're going to be able to talk with you about it and you're going to feel more comfortable about it, so are they. Obviously that is something that might not happen straight away, because I personally don't like talking about surgery when I've only just met someone, because of the fact that society as a whole is so focused on surgery. It's annoying. I know there's a lot more to relationships rather than just the beginning, but this relationship is relatively new, so I feel like this is probably going to be it for now. I probably will do one on more intimate things, but I am very shy about that sort of thing, and I have a lot of friends who watch this who know my girlfriend and I don't want to mentally scar them. But that is something I do want to talk about, because I know that, well, sex in the trans community is something that is a little more too focused on than anything. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. Obviously, my advice isn't something that you should take 100% like I said, but this is something that I've experienced and I feel that it might help you guys if any of you may start relationships and you want just a little bit of help with boost of self-confidence and help make you feel more comfortable with that person. So I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a good day. Bye guys.